The following is an original audio series from Sierra International Machinery, Pile of Scrap, with your host, John Sacco.
Well, we're here, Lewis Salvage, and welcome to a mini session of Pile of Scrap.
Mini session.
Pile of Scrap.
Okay.
You love that name, right?
Pile of Scrap.
It's a good podcast name. With Mike Lewis and his son, Cary. It's good to be here, guys. You know, we spent last night together and today, and this is different because the podcasts that we do at Sierra, you know, bring more information about the recycling industry, but this is different altogether because we're talking about third generation scrap guy right here, right?
Fourth.
That's right, Grandpa.
Yeah.
Give me that history real quick.
Okay. Great Grandpa Morris, Grandpa Abraham Magazine, my dad Elmer Lewis, myself Mike, Cary.
Okay.
Morris and Abe came together. Abe Magazine Junk and Coal was the name of his business. Started sometime in the 30s.
Do you remember what age you were when you said, "This is for me? I'm going to be a scrap guy like my dad and like my grandpa"?
Well, you know, I don't know. It was in the early 20s, really. I mean, it wasn't when I was like in high school or grade school or playing with the crane and the magnets, but I knew college wasn't me and scrap was. So,
Was that the first
20s.
week in college or first day
No,
in college?
that was after 3 colleges I got in and out of. So it took me a while to beat myself up a little bit before I realized that it was time to be a scrap guy.
What about you?
I always wanted to be a scrap guy. I was just told I couldn't be a scrap guy.
You couldn't be?
Shouldn't be a scrap guy. I should put it like that. Oh, you don't want to do this. This is not what you want to do.
I tell my daughter that.
Yeah. And I don't blame. I'd tell my kids that too.
I tell Giovanna, go big, Gio. I go, scrap's been good, but you're going to USC. You're going to have friends, and you're going to meet their dad, and then he's going to be incredibly wealthy. Find out what he does and do what he does.
Remember, whatever you tell somebody, they want to do it.
Do the opposite.
So, they do the opposite. So.
Look, I had Gio. It's interesting. She worked for me this summer for 3 weeks.
Didn't know that.
And I got to tell you, she was a stud in marketing. She really worked with Lindsay really well.
Yeah.
So I think it was really good. So you went to DePaul.
I went to DePaul in Chicago. I got my 4-year degree in 2 years and 9 months.
Why so fast?
Do everything fast.
You're not like the old bull. You don't know the story of the old bull and the young bull, do you? And we'll leave out some of the details. Well, young bull says to the old bull, "Let's run down there and get us one." And the old bull says, "Let's walk down and get them all."
I would have figured it out halfway there.
I mean, to me, Giovanna wanted to get out of SC early. She goes, "Well, Dad, I could grad." No. I told her no, because after college, once you're in the business world,
Yeah, you're not going back.
you're not going back.
But that's all I wanted to do. I didn't, just like him, I didn't want to go to, college wasn't for me.
But you got the scrap bug. It's fun.
I liked deals. I liked
That's
moving stuff. I liked it all.
Okay, so when you came to LA in 2011, okay, there's that picture over there with you and Scott Waddle and General Stanley McChrystal. You were still at DePaul, right?
Senior year, I was 3-4 weeks away from coming to work. I was close. Because that would have been in April. I graduated in June. So by that point, we knew I was coming back. I was taking a couple weeks off, and then we were diving in. That's how it all played out.
So here we are, 30 years. Your dad and I met 30 years ago in September.
Right?
And you bought a share from us. You're one of the first people that believed in what we were doing at Sierra. Okay? But during this whole process, we created a friendship. That is really, it's amazing. And that's the beauty of all why we're sitting here today. This is all about being friends.
Right.
And then I've told you this a couple times. I don't ever look at you as a kid anymore. You're my peer. You're Mike's son, but you created your own, that persona, who
Right.
you are, that I respect already. I mean, It's like, I don't need to look, you're just a young punk. No, hell no, Cary. You know what you're doing, and I love it.
Yeah.
And your wife, what a great story last night. Your wife, immigrant from Poland. Her mom, by herself, worked her how many different jobs to make sure Allie had what she needed.
Yep. You know, we're lucky that, you know, I can had this opportunity by my mom and dad. Not a lot of kids get as much go as I got.
You know, your son told me in Chicago, my parents work. That's all they do. That's all they work. They go to the yard, they work in the scrap yard, and they go home and they work at the house.
Mr. and Mrs. Work.
You could.
We have a lot of fun.
You know, I'm not saying
No,
that
I
you
know
have,
you don't.
but you know, there's those little things. You guys go to the Caymans every year for your yearly vacation.
Yep.
But we need to start seeing you and Rita at a week over, maybe out of D.C., seeing her brother, and coming to a ISRI event, or coming out to Vegas as you head out to California to cruise the coast. So we need to see more of that, Mike.
Yeah, well, hopefully we'll pick that up coming up here. So.
Well, this kid knows how to carry the football.
Yeah.
You know,
Somebody's got to teach him, you know.
Yeah.
So who's going to teach these old dogs new tricks, huh?
I don't know.
Now
We don't really need to be taught. We just need to be prodded. Prodded out here.
Well, we don't have any. I love in this office you have all the scales. We don't have any cattle prods in here, do you, Cary?
Yeah, well,
No? Nothing we can.
it's like a yardstick, same thing.
No. A lot of changes here, 30 years.
Yep.
You sit up here now and you look out.
Yeah.
Look out over here to the west.
Yep. Straight west.
That's the old Lewis Salvage warehouse and office.
Yeah.
The old scale house was over there till 97. And then we built this building in 97, 98, first stage of it. And then added on where the Rev 2 is in 2012, moved the Rev in winter of 2013.
5 acres to how many acres?
I think there's 70 inside the city limits altogether at the 3 locations. Is that right? 60, 70?
Yeah, right in there.
You know.
We don't ever add them together.
Yeah. 300,000 square feet under roof
Yeah.
among everything, you know, so.
You and I always joked a long time ago how big you were. You're huge. You know, just
Yeah.
for fun. Just
Yeah.
you know, and now if you look back from where you were in 1989 to now,
Yeah.
it's really
Well, even
It's
if
impressive.
even as you go back into, you know, the Akron yard, you know, quarter acre. And part of that had a house on it, you know, a quarter of an acre was operated on at the beginning. And then, you know, Grandpa's place downtown I showed you this morning was a half an acre or whatever.
Yeah.
So, you know, it's grown.
You know, I was telling Darren last night that I probably have spent at that, well, it's now the Wyndham, which used to be the Holiday Inn. That used to be
Yeah.
my headquarters before
Yeah.
I started spending the night at your house.
Yep.
That I'd probably spent minimum 40 to 50 nights at that Holiday Inn. When you think of it, because there was 3 installations. There was your first 380,
Yeah.
Wabash, that's Sposi,
Okay.
in the sub-zero minus 48 degree weather.
Yep.
Alan Goldberg, Hartford City, Indiana.
Yeah.
Because, you know, all the installations and training, you know, there were a week. So those are 7 nights. So that's
Right.
21 days.
Yeah.
Let alone all the many times I came back through here and used this as my base
Yeah.
to go Michigan, Ohio, Southern Indiana.
Well, a lot of those customers came here to see the machines work too.
Yep.
Remember? And so you were back, but you were staying with us quite a bit too.
Yeah.
so.
So I spent a lot of time. I love Indiana.
You should have bought that house across the street.
I would have been eaten by mosquitoes.
Excuse me.
Well, the story goes,
Yeah.
I love Indiana. Indiana, this state, and the people have been amazing to me. Okay?
Yep.
And I find a real connection. You know, we joke back home again in Indiana, but I get out here and there's a sense of home here. I don't know what it is. You know, my mom's from Oklahoma, okay? And my dad came from Italy, but a small mountain town. So I was never Big City John, okay? I was always from the roots, right? But in 1994, engaged to Monica and told her, you know, we might move to Indiana because it's the center of where I need to be. Because, you know, there was, okay, we only had a couple salesmen, right?
Right.
so it wasn't like Sierra was the size that we are today, right? And so it came out. So one summer day, we're out. You were there, and all the family were outside barbecuing in the summer. And I mean, it was a swarm of mosquitoes. And I kept going, this really, I didn't know that for as many times as I've been here.
Yeah.
So I go back to Bakersfield, and it was 110 degrees that day. I'll never forget. It was in July, and I remember being outside at a wedding, and it was just miserably hot. But I was out, and I remember going, what? There's no bugs here.
No.
Well, we'll stay put here. I'll just travel to Indiana.
Yeah.
Came this close, though.
Yeah. Well, we still welcome you back.
Well, every time, This is a great place, great memories. So now, how many years now have you owned Mike Gill Auto?
So we bought the auto parts yard in 2015. That followed the year we did a big demolition job in Indianapolis. So we went right from the demo job, which was a big one for me, kind of personally, running a yard or running an area, a project 2 hours away.
Well, that's when you bought the 750. Now,
Yeah.
you had sold your shears. You at some point you were done.
Yep, we sold the shears and picked up a mobile shredder, used it for a while, and then this opportunity in Indianapolis came around and went down there and did that job and then moved to 750 up here.
And then you guys bought Gill Auto.
You know,
Came back, finished, we were cleaning up that job, and before we really got it, it went from one right to the next.
And then you bought Meyer Levin.
we found a building on the north side of town that we helped clean up. Started looking at it one day and going, actually we were watching these guys wash the inside of the building down and clean it up, and we go, it's a really nice building. Well, there was two buildings, 200 and some thousand square feet, and we thought, surely there's something we could do with this building. And right on the back side of doing the Gill deal,
Yeah, we closed on the building and
we did this complex on the north side of town, and it's been a good asset.
So, how much more growth can you personally tolerate?
I'm done buying property. Whatever he wants to do from here on,
Little known,
he can take care of it.
I don't want to say little known fact, but anybody who knows your dad knows that he'd rather be in his Caterpillar crane, material handler, loading trucks.
yeah.
He had 2 cell phones in there. I always thought you had his fax machine in that dog.
No. Everybody accused me of that. No.
No.
You sat on where I had you to the farms. You know what the next move is.
Yeah.
You sat on one of them mowers.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Well, that's what your son says because my parents only work. So you sit in your Caterpillar crane and you're the happiest when you're loading trucks, and then come Saturday, Sunday, got to mow the woods.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got a fleet of mowers.
Yeah. It's an arsenal.
Do you ever get on one for the hell of it?
No,
Dad?
I don't mow. I hate mowing. I'd pay somebody else
Used
to
today.
Yeah.
I wouldn't know either.
mow. No. I'd rather plant seed, fix stuff.
Do you have a garden? You say plant seed? You grow?
No, like fix my grass. I'd rather have that golf course, nice grass, sort of thing.
Now, do you play?
Oh, yeah.
How about you? You
What?
use golf.
No.
I picked it up after
A couple times a year.
After college, after high school, I picked it up, something to do.
I couldn't swing a golf club now.
Oh, yeah. You got a broken wing.
Yeah. It's all right.
Might need to get that thing fixed.
Maybe.
What do you think, Cary? Should he get his own?
Yeah, he'll get it
You
fixed.
need to get it fixed, man.
Maybe.
You're too young.
We're close.
You sound like a surgeon.
Nah, you're just too young. You got to get those things
Yeah.
fixed. Although I don't think I have a rotator cuff. I get back here, I threw 100,000 pitches to my son over the years in the backyard, throwing balls. And I ended your oldest son, Michael's fledgling baseball career.
Poor guy.
I hit a
That's
ball.
you got Mike out of the scrap business. That's what ruined it.
So, for those who will listen to this, put a ball on a baseball tee. Mike might go out there in the yard because you have all this space. And I'll hit you some balls, Me being the coach. I'm a coach.
Yep.
So I hit this line shot right at him, and I'm looking. I'm going, oh, get the glove. Get wham, right here in the chin. That was it. Baseball was over for Michael.
Yeah.
He had the baseball threads in his chin.
Poor guy.
I felt horrible.
He turned out just fine.
No, of course he's fine. You're blessed. You're a father that has 3 kids that are very productive people, and now you just get to enjoy the grandkids.
Yeah.
How many grandkids?
3. Rooney, Callahan, and Granger. None one alike.
Not one alike.
No.
Huh?
No.
You love those kids, though.
Oh,
man, I always get the photos from Dad.
Yeah, I send you the photos.
I always send us the photo.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Rooney man now. How old is he?
9.
7.
7.
7.
7, 6, and 4.
Okay, which one of your grandkids love the scrap business?
Callahan.
Yeah, the middle one, I'm guessing.
Really?
Yeah. Likes them trucks and stuff.
Does he ask you to go to work with him?
Yeah, he asks. They think they're coming to work when they're of age.
Uh-oh.
You got Rooney that I think's like his dad. You got Callahan that's like Cary, and you got Granger that I think
TBD.
I think he could be in Hollywood. Okay, he can be an actor.
Well, you're Hollywood now. You're going to be
Yeah.
on film now,
Yeah.
huh? Hollywood Louie.
I don't know.
Your nickname, Laid Back Louie.
Mm-hmm. I'm still not positive how he got that name and how people think we're so cool all the time, but
Well, you guys are always smiling.
I guess that's it.
You know, so I posted a picture today on LinkedIn saying, back home again in Indiana, celebrating 30 years of friendship with Mike Lewis, right, and family. One guy chimes in, both your dad and I were chapter presidents with
Yep.
at ISRI, said, yeah, Mike was always keeping the smiles, always smiling. And I think, your demeanor to a lot of people is laid back because it's not aggressive. You're smiling, but you always told it you never sugarcoated anything.
No.
No sugarcoat with Dad.
We don't know how. He doesn't know how. We don't know how.
But when you're doing it with a smile, it's a whole different thing. You don't have that growl on your face.
Yeah.
No.
That's a blessing you have. You know that, right?
Thank you. Yeah, I guess.
Well, we're missing
Sad.
Rita, your mom, your
Yep.
wife. Got a little laid up with a little early winter flu.
Got that flu bug or some kind of sickness going.
When I first met you back 30 years ago, you were less than 2 months old, and you were in the middle of the living room floor.
Yeah.
And when we were negotiating on the shear, you kept saying Rita, Rita, and I didn't know Rita was wife. Who's Rita? And somehow I missed the wife part and I got accountant part.
Mm-hmm.
And then I realized Rita was the wife
Yeah.
and the boss.
Yeah.
You like to think you're the boss, but
No, I never thought I was the boss. No, remember, I'm just a crane operator. That's what I tell everybody,
Yep.
which is just fine.
That's funny.
how's working for mom?
I get to work with my mom and dad every day. Well, not a lot of people get that opportunity.
No. And I bet you there's more people who say they would never want to.
There's who would dismiss it, but we make it work.
Sure you do.
We're doing it for 8-9 years now, so a lot of kids would have gone packing after a couple, but I had a good opportunity here.
Wow. It's what you guys have done since you've joined and the
Yeah.
expansion that I've seen. And the expansion isn't so much, but it's just the common sense growth.
Yeah.
Doing it methodically,
Yeah.
without putting yourself in a lot of debt and stress to do it.
Right.
Taking what you earn here and putting it back in.
Yeah.
That's been our theory. I mean, at Sierra, hell, we have 72,000 square feet of manufacturing capacity now in Jessup, Georgia.
Yeah.
We just finished the one here a few months back for the new 24,000 square foot. It's a beautiful plant.
Yeah.
And because I don't see it every day, when I say it, sometimes I go,
Yeah.
Right.
Sort of hard to believe.
Yeah, because I've been at 1620 East Brundage Lane in Bakersfield, that 18 acres, all my life.
Yeah.
Right.
I went down there, swept the floors at Sierra Bag Company,
Yeah.
and then
Yeah. It is hard to believe sometimes
Yeah.
that you do some of the things that we do
yeah,
and have gotten as big as we've gotten in the last couple of years. And maybe big's not the right word, just it's totally changed.
well,
it's,
your
it's
dad was huge.
It's just one minor step.
These are, it's funny. Just jokes back from all those years ago, just joking, whatever it is, you know. And because you guys have been surrounded. Think about this. You were surrounded by Omnisource. Now it's Omnisource Metal X.
Yep.
And then who was the guy in Elkhart with the shredder? Who had the shredder up there? What was
Sturgis Iron and Metal.
Sturgis Iron.
Yeah.
You had Mervis to the south.
Yeah.
No, all the Levens.
Yeah.
Right.
The Gertlers to the west. There's we compete. We do what we do, and they do what they do, and we do business with them, and some of them we don't. And
we're in an active market, and that's a good thing.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, but
it would be a real fumble if you don't make money cutting iron in northern Indiana. But
well, there's some people who haven't.
Well,
there's some people gone.
It's a real fumble that happened.
Yeah, well, I always say your success, Lewis Salvage success, is really based on the fact that, and you've got that, Cary, but your dad's word was it, man.
Yeah.
I tell people all the time, who don't know Mike very well, your dad, so you don't get it. You could leave Mike Lewis $1 million in cash and say, I'll be back in 10 years. And the day you walk in, you go, here you go.
Yeah. I mean, we didn't have any contracts with any of our accounts until
it's your word.
2 years ago.
See, that's so old school, if you think about it. How many people can you really do big business with today without a contract?
Not any.
Goose egg.
Unfortunately, and we've gone that direction, but we still do a lot on a handshake.
Well, you do, and people, you've always done what you say you're going to do.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So, it's not like people say, well, what's it like doing business with Lewis Salvage? Well, you better watch your wallet.
No.
No. And that.
We don't give anybody any question to or room to question anything that we do or don't do. And if we can't do it, we tell people we can't do it.
Yeah.
And so that way we're not given a false hope or false sense of what we can or can't do.
That's the beauty. I mean, again, you guys here in Indiana, this is the Midwest, which I always call the real America, okay? Where America is really still, where you can find what we were supposed to live in, where you do business, a transaction, and hey, I'm doing it. Fine, and you do it, and you keep doing it, and you don't ever have to do this. My dad had a saying in Italian, fa bene scorda, fa male pensa, which means do good and forget about it, or do bad and you have to always look over your shoulder.
Yeah.
You don't ever have to look over your shoulder.
Yep.
No, we want to sleep well at night every night.
Yeah, well, George Adams, he did a podcast and he wrote a book, and I was reading his book. He says he sleeps well every night because, stay the high ground. Well, if you know George, he sleeps 2 hours a night. I go, well, if 2 hours sleeping well every night, then so be it.
Yeah.
But you're right. Yeah. And that's just the cornerstone of Lewis Salvage right there. Your integrity. That's it.
Yeah.
It's kind of simple. It's in a lot of respect. You're smart, though. You guys understand commodities and trading and hedging, which is important with all the volumes and stuff that you handle. It's almost simple. Hold on. This business is not simple. But my point of being simple is how much of your reputation allows those doors to open as you go.
Yeah.
Well, that's all you got sometimes.
Okay, you being the young buck, all right, and you're out there and following Dad and all.
Yeah.
You probably didn't get. I mean, you get resistance, but you don't get any of that resistance of. I've heard bad things about.
No, never have to fight any of that. No, I fight my long hair more than I'd fight any other sentiment, But I think people are coming around to that too. I am and was young,
You are young.
Nobody believes a 25-year-old.
Yeah.
No.
Not so much.
Maybe,
Not trying to get $1 million deal, but
no, that's true. I think who knows? I mean, I think though again back to just the basic foundation of Lewis Salvage. Just your word is it.
Yeah.
So, that's all. It's very like I said. That's what makes it simple to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
By being here all these years later, I think for us and seeing your kid grow up, literally, from this little kid in swaddling clothes. In the middle of a floor. Yeah. You couldn't even roll over when I first met you.
No, I was like 2 months old.
Then I learned about, all you kids would go to bed, And so we'd go downstairs in the basement on the old State Route 15 house.
Yeah.
I learned about tornado warnings. Tornado, what is that?
Yeah.
A lot of stuff learned out here.
Yeah, the weather changes every 15 minutes in this state. And you just got to be prepared.
I have survived in Indiana doing a machine installation minus 48 degrees.
Right.
Dodging lightning bolts in Hartford City, literally running for cover, driving home from Wabash to home. Here I call Warsaw. I'm calling Warsaw home. That's how I've been. We were driving back at the end of the day in a blindy snowstorm. You couldn't see which way the road went.
Right.
And also thunderstorms. Same thing. You couldn't see.
Right.
Antonio, Shorty, great times.
Yeah.
Well, guys, listen. We're going to wrap it up here, but you know what? Cary, I'm going to give you a last word for you. What do you got? What do people need to know about you? Tell us something. Come on, man. Cary. Tell us something. Tell us a story about Mom, Dad. Tell us something.
Oh, putting me on the spot here.
60 minutes.
Yeah, I can tell you. So the first thing Dad told me to do, I came back from college, the first thing he tells me to do, clean that golf cart off. We're going to need it. That's the first thing I did is clean the golf cart off. And that was so we could go around the yard and he could start showing me what was what.
That's awesome.
I'm a lucky kid to
you are.
do what I do here every day.
But you know
for
what?
My parents.
You're creating your own luck too.
Yeah.
You really are, Cary.
Yeah,
proud of you, what the man you've turned into. And you've got to be proud of yourself.
Very proud. Yeah. Johnny, it's good to have you back in Indiana, and you and Phil and everybody and your dad. May rest in peace,
He loved you, Mike.
I know. He was a great guy. We talked about him, some of the stories. Some of the times he'd call me up on the phone and complain about the prices and stuff like that, So hats off to the Sierra team, that's for sure, A great 30 years of friendship and
it's a nice thing
everything
to be
that goes along with this business and all my buddies from Israel and everything. So glad to have you down for the day. And
thank you.
Yeah, sorry Rita missed you, but
well,
she'll pull it together.
She knows I love her.
She's tough.
She's very tough.
She'll be all right.
Well, listen, both of you, thank you.
Yeah.
God bless you both. And to another, more than 3, how about another 60 years? Let's double that, right?
There you go.
Right on.
Double it. Oh.
Love you, brother.
Thanks for pulling me up there. It's that Penguin Point lunch,
Oh, well. You got to enjoy it.
This has been a Sierra International Machinery original audio series. Thanks for listening. Please share this podcast and make sure to subscribe.